Hi there, and welcome to week 9. I know I can't believe already, week 9 of the OrkneyBowl review. And welcome, Craig.
Good evening, Johnny. How are you?
I'm all right. At least I'm better not talking to myself this week.
I do apologise. It was one of those weeks. To be fair, I'm having one of those weeks this week too. That's why I've had to make you jump on early. But
that's no bother. Yeah, well, it's quite good because obviously it means I can actually watch a bit of TV with the missus later on.
Yeah, well, sorry, I'll double apologise then.
Aye. So, well, we will start off with the team of the week, the Carlton Crew.
Yes, starting to really run now, Carlton Crew, and they were down. They were scoring really well and they lost a few early doors, but I think that's a couple in a row now, and they're scoring very, very well. I mean, the team that they've picked couldn't have picked a better team. They've nailed the lineup.
They have. Well, apart from maybe Woolen instead of Gardner, but apart from that, yeah.
Oh, right,
perfect,
okay.
Perfect
yeah,
lineup,
fair enough, right, okay, that's what
it's only 6 points, but obviously going by score corrections, because I think they have the lead by 2 points. There's 2 or 3 teams in the 250s, but other than that, it's a lot more subdued scores. But then you do have the Dolphins on that's this week, they're on a bye week, but they did nothing in London. There's a lot of the big teams you thought would score lots of points didn't actually do much this week.
It was a low-scoring week overall, really, in fantasy. There was and the players who did get, the bigger scorers were kind of not necessarily the first picks. In your team, your CJ Strouds and Tank Dells and
Noah Brown.
Noah Brown. Noah Brown. I actually had him in a team this week. I was overjoyed.
I had him in a best ball when Monday Thomas Racken, so I won the week.
Brilliant. But I mean, Carlton Crew's team here, it picked itself, really, to be fair, Johnny. He's got bye week, Pierce out, Lawrence bye week. You're not going to put Jones in yet. Shoemaker's not really, you're not playing him much, so... Yeah, I mean, and he's got Diggs on IR, Boss on by. It picked itself.
And it picked him to the team of the week, so well done.
And team of the week with a 5.4, a 3.0, a 6, a 10.7, it just goes, I've got those scores littered through my team every single week, so it's nice to see that you can score well with a couple of players getting that low,
I know, it is impressive.
It's Allen and Jacobs led, really, and Kincaid bounced. You've had a proper bounce out for him this week.
He did indeed. It was a nice one. Obviously, Allen helped. We'll go for the Rousey Cup first today. So
let's go for the cup.
The last 16. There's a couple of I missed it. The Dollar Destroyer score. I don't forget it.
You did.
It is a close one. There's a lot of close ones this week. Down the bottom's not very close, but. The Dollar Destroyers had 166.58, so it is pretty close.
So that's the first leg, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really close games.
Yeah, there's Bogdan Regis are looking good against Leeds Lassos. They've got a nice lead there, but and then Kilmarnock Kings got a nice lead against Lanarkshire Bombers. But outside of that, they're all very, very tight.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't know what I'm doing. The 164 is not wrong. It's 194.30. It's got a copy and pasted it down. That's why.
I got you.
Because I only did it 20 minutes ago. I was in a hurry to get it on. So.
Sorry again.
Something to move the time forward.
But I mean, that said, Dollar Destroyers got a very good lead there. Then, but I mean, it's the thing about this is. With fantasy football, every week's different. Every week you get different people scoring. So, just because you're miles behind after week 1, it does not mean that you're out of it.
Well, that's the thing. In the last round, I think 2 of the teams came back from 40-point deficits to go through.
Yeah, and it's I'm sure it'll happen again here. It's so yeah. I mean, all to play for to see who gets into the quarterfinals.
I know it's going to be. It's a good one. Well, at least they don't have to do anything. They just have to pick their team in a normal league. But
No, that's
so,
it. It's a nice wee added bonus, to have, when you're involved in it and you're there, you've got something else to look for, and absolutely Stonewall guarantee it. Maybe not just yet, but see, come semi-final time, if you're still in that semi-final, you're not just following your team that week, you're following your opponent's team too.
even straighter if they're in the same division, because you can see it as it's happening.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true, right enough.
When it gets to the semi-final, if anybody wants to watch your opponent score, just let me know and I can add you to that division so you can watch it.
Yeah, there you go.
So we'll start off with the usual, the St Magnus division.
So here we are, Johnny, but week 9, man. So just 5 weeks to go now. So I think it is safe to say that 8 wins, you are in the playoffs. So we'll start throwing out some congratulations this week. And the first 2 go to Stoke-on-Bengals and Leeds Lassos, who have both now hit the 8-win mark. They're both 8-1. And really, that's them in the playoffs for year 1.
Yeah, it's a nice, but it's a 4-win streak for Bengals and a 2-win big and 4 for the Leeds.
4-win streak for the Leeds Lassos, yeah. So the loss of okay, but they can now relax. They know that they're in the playoffs now. They can they can't relax because you need to finish top 3 to be in the first division next year, don't you? So
yeah, well, the top 3, the seeding for that's in the actual playoffs.
Oh, is that right? So it's just so for the league, it's just get into the playoffs and take it from there.
So right. The 2 finalists and the winning semi-finalists will be the top 3 to get in. So
doubly congratulations to Stoke and Leeds because they are both now in the playoffs and they have that to look forward to. And great wins this week to get there. Stoke scoring 221 points. And Leeds Lassos scoring 194 points, which we'll find out is a very, very good score this week. Story on that in the next league. But but let's before we get to the big one at the top, before we get to the big one, Plymouth Argyle Browns, Johnny. Plymouth Argyle.
Well done, Arthur. You got your first win, and it was a nice win to 188 points. It's a nice little score this week to get your first victory.
That's the good news. The bad news is Akers is gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, great one. And that's with Taysom Hill on the bench as well. So, but a great win for Plymouth Argyle Browns. Josh Allen, he's scoring the way he always has been, really. But Cooper came good for him this week in a big way. That really, really hurt me and showed me the money, Johnny.
Yeah, it hurt me too in our family one because Catherine had him.
Oh, well, there you go. But I mean, at the start of this week, hot shots. I know 2-7, but must have been fit. I mean, you've got Njoku playing. You're playing Njoku and Conklin, and they both went really well. You're playing and Okonkwo.
Yeah.
It's but they all came good. They all came good for the Browns this week, and good one off the mark.
So well done, Arthur. So
now
that's one of our winless teams off the mark. So that's good. So
let's go visit the elephant that's in the room, Johnny, and talk about the absolute spanking that you gave Mr. Baxter.
Yeah, aye. Well, obviously he had about an 80-point lead by the time 6 o'clock games came after Thursday night and Sunday, but thankfully Mr. Kelsey was missing Swifty and didn't do anything in the game.
Yes.
And Waddle didn't really do much either because Tua was just playing bloody awful. It nearly cost him a game and was showing me the money, but didn't quite. But I was expecting at least to be 120 points behind by the time I finished work. But it was nice. It was a nice bonus not to be that far. It was 110 behind. And anyway, it's a good win. Obviously, my first game without Kirk Cousins. Derek Carr did come up with a couple of passing touchdowns.
He did. Carr, what do you find, Johnny? Carr's, did you already have Carr or did you pick him up from agency?
Well, no, I dropped Daniel Jones. Remember, I started off with 3 quarterbacks because I drafted 2 week 13. So I had Carr since the beginning.
Right, so you had Carr since the beginning, yeah. No, I mean, that's...
Cousins was doing that well. I didn't need to play him, but obviously I do now. But
Carroll do you fine, you know. It's Carroll score you 20 odd points most weeks, you know. That's he'll do you absolutely fine. He'll not win you any games, but he'll not lose you many either, you know.
No, it was nice to see Aaron Jones getting a touchdown.
And you must have loved that Wandale Robinson one right at the death.
Well, it was quite close at the time, so yeah, it was a really nice one to go in. I think that might have been the one that put me ahead. I'm not sure.
Right, what's that? Yeah,
his first catch for a touchdown, but then obviously I knew I had what's that? I still had Mosley and I had Hall still to come. So
yeah, I mean you'll not have much worse weeks from Brees Hall than that either, and they still got nearly 17 points. So yeah. Good one for you, and it puts you right in the hunt, puts you up to third place, 7-2. One more win, you would say. One more win and you're in. 5 wins in a row now.
I know.
And it's but it's put Doug in a world of trouble. He's now down out of the playoff spots, albeit tied in the record at 4 and 5. But you know, he's in a dogfight now.
Well, that's the thing, though. He's got 4 and 5, but that's what's holding 6th spot.
Yeah, no, it's you know, he's right in it. I mean, it's not that he's not in it or anything like that. He's right in the hunt, and he's got the Plymouth Argyle Browns this week, so you know, he'll be looking at that as a favourable matchup with Bats being 1 and 8, you know. So,
but then I've talked about this week's scores, but obviously because he won't have Kelsey this week, he won't have Waddle this week.
He's got a major running back problem as well because he's not got. In fact, he's not got any running backs as Bats to play. He's got 8 unless Akers is fit. Or Connor might be back. He'll be absolutely hoping Connor's back.
Yeah, hopefully.
And Doug will be hoping that Fields back, Montgomery back. You know, they're both. He's got them sitting there. Pierce as well. If the 3 of them are back as well, then he's back up to laughing.
But then obviously Gibbs has actually been doing well that he's out. You don't know if Montgomery will get as much of the ball as before.
I mean, I think Montgomery will still get his touches. There's no.
Yeah, but he'll not get like 20 odd carries.
No, but he'll still get 15.
Yeah.
You know, Gibbs will take some off him, and he'll still get the odd catch. I know Gibbs will come in for the passing plays a lot more, I grant you, but Montgomery's still going to get his touches. I think Montgomery's going to be fine for me. I would love to have him on my team. You know,
so would I, but I just think Gibbs he's done well while he's been out. So
don't get me wrong, Gibbs is the future, you know, but I still think Montgomery's got enough in the tank, and they're not going to want to run either of them into the ground because they are going to the playoffs this year and they'll be wanting to make a run at it. You know, they're doing as well as anyone in the NFC at the moment. You know.
Well, they are, definitely.
Eagles maybe aside.
Well, even they're not playing great. They're doing enough to win, but they're not playing like they were last year.
But I mean, look, the Niners 3 losses in a row, and you know, it's.
We're not allowed to mention that, remember?
That's why I'm throwing it in there.
Well, yeah, no, I would say it was a nice win by Jack as well. Gets him up to 4th.
Yes. But bounce them back up. 6-3, you know, 6-3 is fine. We've only got 5 teams on a winning record in your league, so that means that there's 7 teams sitting on a losing record. So, I mean, those playoff spots are tight, and, you know, with 5 weeks to go, there are teams that have got 5-game losing streaks, you know, so it kind of, you know, just because you're on 6 wins is close, but you're not in yet. You know, 6 and 8 won't get you there. You will need at least 7 wins, I would say, and probably 8. 8 guarantees, I would say, and 7 will have you in a playoff of sorts.
Yeah, hopefully. But no, it was a nice win. So we'll see who we got next.
Good one. And you've got Warner Bay Warriors next week, Johnny. But beware the injured and the chasing. You know, these ones that are scrapping for every win, they're tough to come up against. You know.
Oh, well, I've got a few waiver wire requests, like, because I am a bit down.
You're a bit thin,
this week, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, Arthur will be open to catch on and beat Doug, but I can't really see it happening.
Let's hope so.
Jack will be hoping to get the number 6 win against the Stoke-on-Bengals.
That's a tough one for him. That's a tough one for the Rock Stars. You know, that's you lost 2 weeks ago. You've just bounced back with a win, and you run into the team smack bang top of the league. And it's
Yeah, but that team is missing Tyreek Hill, Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, he's missing his stack, isn't he? And that stack has scored him a heck of a lot of points this week, this year. So, and he's missing Stafford as well, so he's going quarterback shopping. So, yeah, if you're going to
I know who you'll be going for. It's just whether he bids enough to get him or not, because there is only really one you can really go for.
Well, it's I mean, when you're missing, but that's the thing. See, when you're sitting on 8-1,
you can afford one.
Stoke can afford to lose this one, no problem. So even if you think kind of I'm not going nuts, I don't want to lose anyone on my bench. Take the loss and move on. That's what Whitworth Rockstars will be hoping it does. That's for sure.
Definitely, and obviously, what about Brown T? Who are they missing?
And
Mr. Kicker. Yeah, they're projected to lose. Weird.
Yeah, that's.
I don't understand that one, but yeah.
No, that's
it'd be quite good if they both lose and they manage to sneak a win. But
well, yeah, it'd get you certainly back up there. I mean, at the end of the day, you need to win and you're in. It doesn't matter. Does first of the league matter?
Well, not really. Just for seeding, obviously.
It matters for bragging rights and all that. But the EK Colts have been going well. That's why Brown T's second favourite. It's they've been, and any team that's got McCaffrey is always going to be looking at points. But
they're like the second highest scoring team in the league, or they were. I think they've slipped down a bit, but they're down to fourth on it. But
I mean, they've certainly got a team there, so you can easily. But EK Colts are in that position as well, where at 4 and 5 they need to win. It's kind of. At 4 and 5, you can afford one more loss probably, but you've got 5 more weeks to go. So if you lose this week, you're talking about needing a 4-game win streak just to have a chance of sneaking in.
Yeah, and Webby, he's minus Mahomes, Swift, Pacheco.
There's a whole host up by.
But he's got CJ Stroud on the bench, so that's not too bad.
Every time you get through one and you can tick one off, it's a joy, isn't it? When it's like, oh well, at least he's back next week, and I don't need to worry about him being on bye again. So
true.
The week is hard, and that's the thing. See the 4-5s, the 5-4s, they can't afford to be low at this stage. They need to be winning. Whereas your 8-1s, your 7-2s, even your 6-3s if you've got a big bad bye week, oh well, okay, fair enough. I'm going to lose this week, but it's fine. And that is such a big difference at this stage.
So who's your game of the week?
So my game of the week this week is, what's my game? Who needs to be hanging on in there? I actually think my game of the week this week's your game, Johnny, to be honest with you, because the 4 and 5, the Winnerby Warriors need that win, and you get the win and you're in, so it puts any doubt out of the question. So I think that's the game of the week because... yeah,
we'll look at my receivers this week.
They need the win. Winnerby Warriors need the win. Yeah, Quentin Johnson, Wandale, Jordan Addison, tough week.
My running back will recover me through him.
Well, I mean, AJ Brown scored you so many points that it's when you're missing an AJ Brown, that's a big miss. That's a big hole in the team.
I know Barkley against that Dallas defense might be a bit tough,
but yeah, it's tight.
It's tight one. Well, my game will be Stoke on Bengals against Jack Whitford Rockstars. So.
Same situation. Whitworth really need the win, so he'll be all out to try and get it, and Stoke will be caring at this point, but we'll still be playing their best team, have no doubt.
Oh, definitely.
But
we'll head on to your division. Oh no, what I was going to do is look at the, what do you call it? The playoff thing.
Oh, the playoff. If it's
sat at the moment, it would be Stoke would get a bye. Webby and Jackson would both play each other. Brown T would get a bye, and I would be playing the EK Colts.
It's a long way to go before we get to there. That will be changing week on week.
I know, but I thought now was the time to keep an eye on it. So
nice to see Dougie in the toilet bowl.
Yeah, so we'll go on to the Yesnaby division.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing, and it's I don't know how I can sit here and analyze others when I'm sitting 1-8 and utter garbage, and there's no getting away from it. I'm utter garbage. I really don't know what's happened this year, Johnny. It's Jackson's just he's no been at it, and when he has, I've ran into a score. You know, Barkley's been fine. Higgins has been so hot and cold, it's untrue. I'm having to
Is it
throw.
good this week though? So
I mean, I scored fine this week. 179 points is going to win a lot of games, you know, this week. But you know, Gibson's on the bench. It's but yeah, I mean, Juden was scoring for really well for me. Samuel's been out. Montgomery's been out. It's just been a big struggle. Bedford Brewski's got a second one. One of us had to get it. A good 197 point score. You know, I just seem to keep running into these ones. You know, that are finding the right stuff in it. And, you know, I've ran into Cole Kmet, you know, it's Cole Kmet's going 34 points. That doesn't happen every week.
Was it not John Smith as well?
So, yeah, did they have John Smith as well, did they? So,
no,
Trey McBride as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, good win for Bedford Brewski's. Puts them up to 2-7 and leaves me languishing at the bottom. Even Sam's got his 2 wins, you know. So Darlington Rams they're at 2-7. So I am firmly rooted at the bottom. So let's go and talk about the right side of the division and say congratulations to Mr. Farquhar.
Yeah, got a nice win there.
8 wins means in for me. Well, it means in. So well done, Graham. Alaska Deep Freeze got their 5th win in a row. And
I know. It's a good one.
Out of all 8 divisions, Johnny, all 8 divisions, there was only one team who scored 200 points and lost, and it was Levi King. So
I'm sure Peter's going to love the fact that's the case. It's the only team to score 200 points and lose
in the whole entire OrkneyBowl. So what, 48 games, and only one team scored over 200 points and lost. So here it is. So very unlucky to Levi Kings, and well done, Alaskan Deep Freeze. Great score, 7th win, 5th in a row. No holding back now. You know, it's. I mean, I won't be saying congratulations tonight, but I'll likely be saying it next week.
Well, depending who they're playing. But yeah, like Lee Vikings, they're still sitting in 7th, so they're not too bad. They've got.
No, they're fine. 5 and 4's right in it. You know, it's just it's the stage now where you know you need a lot more wins than you have. You know, so basically 3 more wins, 3 and 2, 3 and 2 in the run. So yeah, that's absolutely fine. You know, you're still sitting fine and looking towards the playoffs. Godalming Goats, they've had a real bad day today. I don't know. I'd never even heard of the play Godalming until we started doing this, and I noticed them in my division, and I did see that they were having some water issues over the weekend there in the news. So I hope everything's all right down there for Rob Warner.
Yeah. Well, he's in your screen redraft league, so he's obviously been all right. But he got a bit of a tanking by the Ancoat Citizens this week.
He did 6, and that's 6-3 for the Ancoat Citizens now, you know, and nice bounce back after a loss the week before, you know, back up to 4th now, 6 wins. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Godalming Goats are absolutely fine too, you know, they're sitting 6-3 as well, and very, you know, looking very positive for the playoffs. The thing you don't want to get into right now is a wee losing one. You know, you don't need a losing streak. You know, Herbert, what a bad game he had last night. You know, to say, I mean, they won 27-6. What does it matter?
They'll but he only threw for like 180 yards or something.
136 yards, Johnny. 136 yards. He get 1 fumble, 5 sacks. You know. Then you've got Tony Pollard, who's been such a disappointment for him all season. I mean, this is a team that's 6-3. I'm talking about. Let's not forget. You know,
everybody underperformed apart from Bellinger and Mattison.
You know, it's I mean, Bellinger's a nice pickup. I can't imagine he had Bellinger sitting there in the team. I imagine that he went and got him out of agency. But yeah, I mean, he's missing Sutton, he's missing St. Brown, he's missing Ingram, he's missing Greenlaw. So big players on bye week this week, and the score showed. And Ancoat Citizens got a lovely win to get them to 6-3 and put them right in the box seat for you know, the 6-3 means you need 2 and 3. You can finish the last 5. You need a losing record, which is nice position to be in. The 5 and 4s they need a 3 and 2, but the 6 and 3s that's a big difference,
Mm-hmm.
With
It's a
5
nice
games.
win by Luke down in the Yorkshire Finns as well. Get up to 4 and 5.
Yes,
that
that
keeps
keeps
Bears,
them,
but
keeps them
in the
very
hunt.
much involved. Keeps them very much involved. I mean, it's 155 points and it's a win, but you can only beat the team in front of you, and it's a great win to keep them involved. And 4 and 5, as I say, you maybe need 4 wins, but 3 wins might be, a 3-2 finish for Yorkshire Finns. 7 and 7 might just sneak you in.
It could do.
It's
they've all got to play each other, so you can imagine somebody's going to be beating somebody to help somebody else.
Oh, definitely, 100%. I mean, if you look at this week, you've got Lee Vikings are playing Yorkshire Finns, 5 and 4 versus 4 and 5. What a massive game that is! Massive game, 5 and 4, 4 and 5.
Definitely.
And Lee Vikings, they've got an AJ Brown problem in that he's on his bye week. We've said that. So Pierce was out this week. I mean, he's only got Brown really. Vasquez scalding, but what to do. But Brown's such a big miss. He's such a big miss that
he's got Ayuk on the bench, so.
Yeah, Ayuk back from bye week, so that he'll slot in, but it's still massive loss. AJ Brown. Let's not.
Notice AJ Brown's just.
And the Finns are missing Rice and Henderson on bye week only. So they've got Ridley to come back in. They've got Sanders that they can pop back in now that he's doing. He got some touches again and done just as well as Hubbard with them, I guess. Not.
Well, they got a few catches. Well, they got a couple of catches as well, which helped with a PPR.
He did, yeah, exactly, yeah, and that makes all the difference, But I mean, this division is very, very tight as well. We've got 6 teams, seven teams on winning records, sitting down to Lee Vikings on 5 and 4. So and then you've got Yorkshire Finns on 4 and 5. So really, of the 6 of 8, and 6 of 8, and you've got to think Glasgow Eagles are in, Alaska Deep Freeze are going to get in. There's no buts. Buccaneers.
The Glasgow Eagles are playing the Goodam and Goats this week, so that they could push Goodam and Goats closer to the.
That's a very big game in the sense that if you're sitting at those 6 and 4, you're still okay. You're fine, but you need kind of win half the games. 7 and 3, you're pretty much there. So massive game this week. Again.
Not as big as the game Packers against the Bears.
Yeah, it's a nothing game.
It's no Packers against the Bears.
It's the Packers against the Bears, I guess, but it's a 1 and 8.
The Packers own the Bears, so you should win that one, Craig. If not, you're not a proper Packer.
I mean, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, as the leagues are coming from the playoffs as well, all I'm looking to do now is see out the season and then get into the playoffs and try and win the toilet bowl. That's all I can do, So keeping a very close eye on how the players are going, and picking my team without actually caring whether I win or lose in the week, And bottom Bears this week have got Hurts on by and Pacheco on by, so I guess he's going to have to be thrown Young in there and one of the Bears backs. So I mean, if I win, excellent. But it's all about I ain't making playoffs now, so it's all about the toilet bowl.
Yes. So what's your game of the week then?
It's a tough one here because Aberdeen Bucks are up against Alaskan Deep Freeze there as well, and last 5-game win streak, absolutely flying. Aberdeen Bucks need to win at 5 and 4. It's that's a huge game as well. But I have to go with the 5 and 4 and 4 and 5 because I just think that's if Lee Vikings win that, it's a long way back for Yorkshire Finns. They need to go on a real big win streak. So and if Lee Vikings and if Yorkshire Finns win it, those two are fighting out the last couple of that last spot for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely Lee Vikings to the Yorkshire Finns. That is the game of the week for this division.
Yeah,
but I will be keeping an eye on the Packers and the Bears.
That'll be the one that's
you might not be watching it, but I'll be keeping an eye on it.
I'll be watching.
So on to the Queen Hill next, Division 3.
Yeah, so we've
So
got.
Pez had a nice win.
He
Not
did,
the highest
yes.
score, but well done to get to 2 and 7. Beating the
Yeah, I mean,
Dawson
it's
Fighting Gophers. That's a good win.
to go for, that's just how crazy fantasy football is again. You're 1 and 7 and you're scoring 228 points and scoring the second highest score of the week. It's absolutely crazy.
I do feel sorry for Gary and the Everdon Thunderbirds. So they're 0-9, so 186 points. I think they would have beaten half the division, but they come up against the top team of the whole league.
Yeah, and
it's a bit unlucky.
It's the last though, isn't it?
I know. Just
had to be someone, I guess. I mean, I'm 1 and 8, so let's not think that's much better, But there had to be someone. But yeah, Manchester Bees have the biggest win streak of the whole OrkneyBowl as well. 8 wins in a row. I repeat, 8 wins in a row after losing week 1. They have been unbeaten. And congratulations for making the playoffs. The 8 wins will not get in. And Bankfoot Panthers as well. Our own Roddy, he's managed to get himself up to 8-1 as well with a 5th win in a row.
Yeah.
So these guys,
the top 4 teams are 8 wins, 5 wins, 2 wins, and 4 wins in a row.
Yeah, so I mean, it just goes to show the power of a streak, obviously, and it's. But yeah, it's. I mean, these Carlton Crew and Seattle Patriots, it's hard to see them not getting in now. They still got work to do. But certainly Carlton Crew, 2,000 points, the only team in the division over 2,000 points. So hard to see them not getting there.
And on the Kirkwall Chargers, they're on a 6-game losing streak.
But yeah.
Losing to the Newcastle match, so they're going the wrong way. But
it's so easy done. But I mean, everyone, Glenrothes, Nazgul's right up, Chicago Scorpions, New Boston Mashers, all in the Gossip Fighting Gophers, and the Whitehall White Tigers. They are all playing for 2 spots. I would, in my humble opinion of the division,
between 5 and 9 is 5 and 4 and 4 and 5.
Yeah, that's it. They're all playing for they're playing for 2 spots there for me, which is massive. It's and really need to be getting on a win streak right now. Big one for Whitehall White Tigers this week as well. They're up against the Flying Carlton Crew.
That's a big one.
So that's a big game, and they're doing it without Tyreek Hill. So that's not going to be the easiest task at hand. Whereas Carlton Crew have got no one on by, losing Akers, and that's it. They've got McCaffrey back, though, and Gibbs back.
It's not a bad replacement.
The top scored this week, Johnny, with McCaffrey and Gibbs on bye week.
Bloody hell. I must have had the sheet wrong.
So yeah, that's a big win for Whitehall White Tigers, that's for sure. Massive win, massive match for them. And at 5 and 4, really needing that victory. Then we've got the Glossop Fighting Gophers there up against Glenrothes and Nazguls. 4 and 5, 5 and 4.
That'll be a close one.
Yeah, 4 and 5, 5 and 4. Such a big game as well. Such a big game.
Martin will be trying to break his 2-game losing streak to try and get back up.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's he needs to as well, and Glossop are trying to not get onto that wee 2-game loss streak, but yeah, I mean, whilst it's definitely not out of it, it's a long way from 4 and 5, 4 and 6 for me, so I think all these 4 and 5s need to win this week,
Yeah. Well, so what's the game of the week in this one then?
Game of the week. Oh, well, I mean, can you call it the game of the week now that it doesn't really matter? The Manchester Bees up against the Bankfoot Panthers, the 2 8-1 teams, I guess. They're going for the top. They're the 2 best teams in the division at the moment. Well, they're the 2 leading teams in the division at the moment. You could argue Carlton Crew's 2,000 points make them the best team in the league. But, yeah, I mean, that's a huge game. Obviously, 8-1, it would be rude not to point it out. Yeah,
I think the Whitehall White Tigers and the Carlton Crew, that's probably my one, because that could go.
Yeah,
that could be a high scoring game, that one.
I mean, the new Bars and Marshals and the Seattle Patriots, 6-3, 5-4. That's huge as well. You know, this is in this league, and the Chicago Scorpions have got a good chance to catch up here. You know, because they're 4-5 playing the Preston Hawks. I know Epez is on a wee run now, and he's just got a, you know, really good score at 232. You know, but
well, the Seattle Patriots have Hurts on a bye, Pacheco on a bye, Smith on a bye, Freeman on a bye. So they've got Purdy. Yeah, they're not going to win.
So they're destroyed there then, yes.
Yeah,
so,
I think they'll be given that week up, I think.
So that new and that couldn't come at a better week for the new Boston Marshals, you know. And of course, at 6-3, you know, you're not going to lose any sleep over losing this week when you're 6-3, especially when you've got all of those players on a bye. So that's there's a reason behind it. So yeah, I mean, it's a massive game. But to be honest with you, you know, the Bees and the Panthers is the top two game of the week. But for me, it's Glossop and Glenrothes because the 4-5, 5-4 is match up is huge.
Yes, that is a good game. So the last game in the East Conference, we're off to the Mullhead. So let's see. Yeah, we had the two Battle of the 2 8-1s this week. We had the Waterloo Warriors against the Leicester Tigers, but the more important news is the Yorkshire Los Muertos have won their first game.
We're off the mark.
And they beat Gary quite convincingly. So I think that might Gary at the bottom now. So Gary's now the bottom team.
Gary's now the bottom team. I mean, there's 2 1-8s and 2 3-6s in this division, you know. So from 8th up, it's tight. But yeah. I mean, the great win, get off the mark and get up and running. But it's all about the playoffs. For you know, I mean, 3-6 isn't dead. You know, you get 5-game win streaks. We see them happening. There's teams on 5 and better win streaks at the moment. So, but you need a 5-game win streak now. You know, that's the thing. Neil Knight's at 4-5 need to get going. Sean's found a 3-game win streak right when he needed it. You know, from 2-4.
But then you got to think that maybe the Preston Panthers have played at the top teams.
Yeah, so they maybe have a.
But then
now.
They'll play if they might play 1 or 2 of them near the end again though, because of the 14 games. But
it's a 2-game losing streak now in 4-5. I mean, 188 points is not to be sneezed at, but they've run into Harlequins, who's knocked out the park at 254. You know, they must be the second highest team this week.
They are the second highest team, and obviously, barring score correction, they could still end up being the top team. It was a good game. It was a good win for Sean, obviously, 176 against. The workshop, I don't know what happened to the workshop, 104 points. Well, he didn't change his team. Green by.
Oh, so Sean got a gimme, man. Come on. Don't be giving people like Sean gimmies.
In fairness, it wouldn't have made any difference with bench. He didn't have a spare running back.
Yeah, maybe that's what. Well, so I got a receiver at least in flex. But yeah, I guess he's just given up on the week. So, yeah, it's, you know, a good week for Sean to get that to happen for him, you know, because
if we get some up,
I mean, he's rolled the dice with Will Levis, hasn't he? It's that's a proper dice roll there. So who's he left on the bench? Well, he had Purdy, so Purdy was on bye week, so he's.
I'm guessing Purdy will be back. He's got McCaffrey on the bench.
He lost Cousins to IR, so there you go. There's his. So he's got Waller on IR as well now. So, but he's got McCaffrey back this week. Great win for Sean. And you know, I'm sure he'll plug in Purdy over Will Levis. You know, Levis got a first game bump, but back down to earth this week.
Yes,
he's lost Downs and he's lost Osborne as well to injury, Sean. But great win and 3-game win streak, and McCaffrey's now through his bye week. So yeah, you've got to. But you know, at 5-4, he's got to keep that win streak going. He wants to keep that moving.
Definitely.
It's a bad week for Joe and their Knights as well at 126 points. That's Johnny Herbert effect, I guess. You know, 6.6 points.
It was a nice win for Dublin Everton Blues as well, getting them up to 4th spot.
Yes, I mean the top of the division. Congratulations, Orkney Warriors, the first team to officially make playoffs this season, and the in this division. And Leicester Tigers, they lost to them this week, but no harm, no foul. 7-2, move on. 178 points was fine. And you got the Dublin Everton Blues, as you say, bouncing back from the loss, and Harlow Harlequins as well, bouncing back from the loss with a massive score. So both right there. And the Workshop Doth Rockies got jumped by both of them, 3rd to 5th, but 6-3. I mean, the three of them sitting there at 6-3, couple of wins, and they're there, Is this going to become a race between the Preston Panthers, Nairn Knights, and Newcastle Colts for the 6th spot?
If it is, you've got to fancy the Newcastle Colts. They've scored a far higher scoring team,
and they're on on a roll as well, which can always make a difference.
And McCaffrey's past his bye week, so
yeah, and and they're playing Solihull Sharks at 3-6 this week. So
I'd have no look at.
Yeah, so Sean's going in the right direction, shall we say?
You've got the Harrow Harlequins are up against the Nairn Knights. So,
yeah, big game.
Pure Preston, who need to probably win a lot more games than lose, are coming up against the Orkney Warriors.
So they've got to be hoping for some bye luck there, because if they don't get it, 4-6 is a long way.
Well, Allen's playing, Henry's playing, Jacobs playing, Allen's playing, got Mooney playing, Pickens.
Do you know what the thing is? Teams will get there from 4-6. There will be one or two teams who make the playoffs from 4-6.
Yeah.
Throughout the OrkneyBowl, I'm not saying in every division, but throughout the OrkneyBowl, there will be a couple of teams who go from 4-6 to the playoffs because they get on a win run. It will just happen.
It will do. It's going to be a tough one, but 4-6, depending on the other scores.
Yeah, I mean, but the Preston Panthers need to win this week. There's, I would say that's massive for them. But yeah, this league's the Newcastle Colts and Solihull Sharks. It's kind of the good against the bad here, isn't it? So it's huge for Joe, because I don't, Workshop going by form should easily win. Should win. Dublin Everton Blues should win.
Depends on the bye. Who's on the bye? So he's already picked his team. So who's he missing?
Preston Panthers and Nairn Knights, they're really going to need this win this week to keep up. It's Sean that's a big one for them, really. If Sean wins this week and they two both lose, they go 2 behind 6th place.
Yeah, it's a hard one
with 4 weeks to go. So
to come up against those two when you need to win, it's not a good.
No. You're coming up against the team top of the division, and the other one's coming up against the team that just scored the best score of the week by a country mile in the division, and the second highest score in the week in the OrkneyBowl. Very tough, hard, but that's fantasy football, and the wins could easily come.
Although, so what's your game of the week in this one then? Because they're a bit one-sided.
It's the two of them for me. It's I can't pick between the Orkney Warriors and Preston Panthers and the Harlow Harlequins and the Nairn Knights, because those two teams really need to win, because I don't see Sean losing this week. So I believe those two teams really need to win to stay in touch with the playoffs.
True. We'll see though. I will go on to the West Conference at the Happy Valley Division 1. Nice win at the top there by Dreve. Beating the Bonnyrig Cheeseheads. That's a nice one, that one.
Yes, it was the Bonnyrig Cheeseheads. They got beat. They jostled against Dreve. Yeah, so great win for Dreve. 4 points in it, so tight, and it gets them back up there, and it gets them 5-4 now, and heading in the right way. This is such a close division. The top of this division are all 6-3,
And of course, the main one I always look out in this division, Team Lemony Fresh, now in a 3-game win streak. Should be 5-game win streak, but back to that bloody sleeper amendment. So they should be 5-4, but approximately the 4 and 5. But
yeah, that's it. So it should be a 4-game win streak. They should be 5-4, but they're 4 and 5. But
the way things are going, they may get corrected again and lose again.
Well, that would be really harsh. But after getting that would have scunnered me. That really would have. Honestly, I'm not being funny, but my toys would have been out the pram. So I'm glad to see that Lemony Fresh has got the wins that's to follow that, because I imagine the toys were out the pram a little bit, because mine would have been. And
your toys would be hitting me in Orkney if that happened.
Well, I would be sleepers this, sleeper that, but anyway, it was a great team to beat, because Norwich Mustardmen, if they'd have got on to 6-3, kind of their away team, Lemony Fresh has kept them in touch, and everyone down to 9th now,
Well, that's it. They're sitting in 9th, they're 1 game behind 5th.
And 2 games behind the leaders, so it's so tight, this division. Anything can happen here still, that they're all beating each other. Great win for Richmond Reds this week against Dixon Health Demons. That's went 6-3 against 5-4 now.
Yeah, nice win for the Gothenburg Angels to go 6-3.
Yeah, and they just, every time I look at Gothenburg Angels, they seem to be scoring really good points. So I don't know where the 3 losses came from. It's about half, but
just keep on looking at it, because I'm pretty sure that was my prediction to win the division.
Yeah, they're certainly in with a great shout, and but yeah, I mean, the 6-3s are obviously got the leg up, but it's that this division is so tight that anything can happen still.
And get Quebec's Lightning and getting that win to get up to 6 is a cracking result.
Yeah, it's into the playoff spots, and there's 4 teams sitting there at 5-4, and they're all on losing streaks apart from Dreve now. That's a 1 win, and it's going in the right direction. So that's always a good thing as well, when everyone around you is going in the opposite direction.
I think I've already found the game of the week next week, looking already at the next page, and you'll probably see it yourself.
Oh, well, for me it's right down the bottom. Well, the bottom of mine. I don't know. It's in the middle of yours. Lemony Fresh. Titans. That's
again, a cracker.
I can't emphasize enough how big a 4-5, 5-4 game is, and seeing a division like this where everyone's so close. If Lemony Fresh loses this game and goes 4-6, it's a long way back. It's not even that it's a long way back, but there's so many teams ahead of you. You're not 4-6 in one spot, but in 7th place, 1 behind. You're 4-6 and you're going to be in 9th.
And it's crazy, because obviously you've got a 6-3 and a 5-4, 4-5, 5-4.
There's going to be, though, because there's 9 teams that are in the chase. There's 8 teams on winning records, so it's going to be littered with games like that. I mean, Lemony Fresh has got Rice on by, but not much else, so every great chance to pick up the win here.
Yes. You've got, obviously, Quebec's here playing they're playing Court Red Army, so you've got to fancy them to get to 6-4.
But that's one that see, when you've got a game like that in a division this close and a division this tight, you have to win it.
Yeah, and obviously Gothenburg Angels are playing against the Guildford Raptors. You've got to think they're going to get to 7. But even Darlington Dragons against Richmond Reds, that could still go either way. So they could potentially be the only team on 7.
It's I mean, the Norwich Mustardmen will have every chance of beating one of the cheeseheads as well. It's just so tight. It is all so tight. The Dixon Heath Diamonds playing against Yeovil Winners, 6-3, 5-4. This is one of those divisions where 7 will be enough to get in.
Yeah,
7 will definitely be enough to get in, but it might also drop you out. If you get, there'll be more than 2 teams on the same score in the 6th spot, and it'll be going to whatever sleeper does for the. I don't know if it's most points.
I think it's points in this one. You can't change it to head, which is a bit of a shame.
So it's points, is it? So it's So then it becomes exceedingly important to not only be winning games but to be scoring well. But I do think 7 will get in and 7 will be knocked out in this division.
Well, that's it. Well, the 2 teams on the best streak are Yeovil Winners on 2, Richmond Reds on 3, and are very Lemony Fresh on 3. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, Lemony Fresh are running, but yeah, I mean, the win streaks matter so much more in these type divisions as well. You know, it just means that your players are playing well. You know.
Yeah.
And it's you know, when you look at Richmond Red's team, you've got Prescott who's just started playing. You know,
Oh, he's playing awesome at the moment.
So that's
and he's playing the Giants this week. So
there's your 3-game win streak. There's the reason behind your 3-game win streak. You know, but then you've got
Deontay Johnson as well.
Came back
Derek
in.
Henry. Chase.
You know, so Gus Edwards has had a couple of big weeks recently, and you know
that's it. That's it. Prescott and Edwards last 3 weeks have been immense.
And it's he's got Stroud on the bench there. Prescott and Stroud. That's harsh because Stroud is throwing very, very well, and he's scoring a lot of fantasy points.
Yes.
I mean, Arlington Dragons are you know, if you look at their team, they've got Williams back off bye week. You know, Jamal Williams, JT's going better and better and better. McBride's got a much better matchup this week, and he's probably got Kyler Murray back throwing. You know, so. It's not a bad.
Richmond Reds need a kicker.
It's very much not a bad team. They do, yeah. They'll need to go and pick a kicker up.
That could be the difference between this game. So they better find a kicker. Who's available? Let's see, kicker.
Oh, there'll be loads of it.
Patterson, Myers. Dicker the kicker.
No, Dicker the kicker.
Dicker the kicker.
No one's going to be sitting with 2 kickers in their team. Absolutely. If anyone's sitting with 2 kickers in their team, they need to stop playing fantasy football. Sorry.
Yeah, but you could have something like you've got Justin Tucker and you picked up a kicker to play, or you've just not got around to drop.
Oh, if Tucker's on his bye week, that's fine.
Yes, I think I had 2, but I had got around to drop him one. I think, so I should just stop playing fantasy then, Craig. Should I?
Johnny, if you've got 2 kickers in your team, stop playing fantasy football.
Or was that a different league? I definitely had one where I had Joseph and I had McPherson because I played.
I mean, I can understand it in a dynasty. I can understand it in a best ball, but in a
because I picked up. No, I think it's in Show Me the Money. I picked up Joseph while McPherson was on a bye. Yeah, and I hadn't got round to drop him yet.
Well, that's just laziness more than stupidity. But
that's just being in too many fucking leagues. That's what that is for.
That too.
And a lot of them will be getting cut next year. So.
But yeah, you're not sitting with 2. No one's sitting with 2 kickers, so you'll go and pick up a kicker, and but that's a tighter game than you would like. But in a 3-game win streak, they're all in form, and you got to fancy the Richmond Reds to take that one out. It's the Cheeseheads after losing last week. You know, it's that's a big game. You know, you don't want to start hitting that losing streak. Not at 6-3. You know, 6. You know, you lose this week at 6-4. You're like, okay, that's fine. You lose the week after them at 6-5, and you are in the dogfight. You know.
I know. Well, and this week they will be getting to 2,000 points for because they're sitting at 1997.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're scoring great runs, don't get me wrong, but you don't want to start losing games. And Norwich Mustard Ben need they're desperate for a win. McCaffrey's back off his bye week, so that's a massive plus for the Mustard Men. So yeah, I mean, it's not one to be taken lightly for Bonnie Rig Cheeseheads, and they don't want to get into that wee habit of losing when there's so many teams built up behind them.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, but obviously still the game is at Lemony Fresh against the Durham Titans. That's the game.
Yeah, that's the game of the week. Yeah, absolutely. What a big game.
No offense to everybody else in that league, but we are cheering on Lemony Fresh after that score correction.
Score correction loss, yeah.
So we'll move on to Maze Howe, Trade Central Division. None this week actually, but still.
No, but there's certainly Portland Lumberjacks and their Travis Kelce's going along just fine, aren't they? And they don't seem to be missing the 4 that they shipped out in order to bring them in. So more power to you, McGonigal. More power to you, sir.
The Crew Juggernauts have well and truly stalled after a good start to the year. They're just...
Yeah, they have, haven't they? They've hit that
five games in a row to losing after being
4-0 to 4-5. I mean, that's got a heart. It really does, and it can happen. And as I say, once you get into the players, must be absolutely stinking out of form. I mean, 172 points is fine, but having to roll the dice with Will Levis and plugging Jeff Wilson back in because he's back off IR, but he's not really going to do much, has he? Watson's been so disappointing. Cooks has had a couple of weeks, but other than that, Gash,
nothing of promise.
It's, at least Cooper's back. There are a few positives. Cooper's back playing well. He's got
4 quarterbacks.
He's got 4 quarterbacks, yeah. So that's he's got McCaffrey back off bye this week. Tajay Brown back off bye. Ingram back off bye. So there are positives to be coming, and at 4 and 5, it is absolutely still in the hunt, for the playoffs. But he needs to stop that slide. That slide has to stop, and it has to stop this week.
But probably the biggest shock, was the Whitford Educators have been steamrolling through in such a good run. Came up against Sandbach Sunsets to lose 210 to 185. So yeah, they were playing so well. Looked like we're going to clinch it this week, and then boom,
smack,
knocked in their face.
Justin Herbert effect. Yeah. I mean, the great win for the Sandbach Sunsets. 5 and 4 puts them right in the hunt, right there, looking for the playoffs. Looking to get there. And it's and look at our Port coming. Look at Port.
I said we better mention Port with his 3-game win streak.
He's
up to 4 and 5 after all his trades.
He's replaced the money with a Ferrari. So he has. Here he comes after such a bad start. 3-game win streak, 4 and 5, right in the hunt now. Just 1 game back from 6th spot, 5. And that's another one that's really tight. No one on 8 wins. 2 teams at 7 and 2, 1 at 6 and 3, and then it's all 5 and 4, 4 and 5, all the way down to 10. So I mean, it's a great win for Port, beating the Gloucestershire Wolfpack.
But then he's also got the thing he's got to choose between Joe Burrow, Prescott, and occasionally Howell, who score you 50 points. But
I mean, Howell's doing very well in terms of fantasy. I mean, it's
especially in this one.
That's just a headache you do not want. Prescott, Howell, and Burrow. I mean, Ching's a loo. That's a lot of quarterbacks, and a lot of quarterbacks that's going to score well. So I mean, he lost 6 points here. If he'd have lost this game by 4 points, I would be laughing rather hard at the moment. You know what I mean? But he didn't, so I can't.
And of course, the Rainy Cardinals getting a 3rd win with a whopping 243 points and 243.8 points.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you're sitting at 2 and 6, and, it's just, again, it's the choice of the game, isn't it? You're sitting at 2 and 6 thinking, oh, this is utter garbage, blah, 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 blah. And you pop up with a 243-point week. I mean.
And now they're only 2 games back from 6th base.
I could have guaranteed you that Stroud was going to be front and centre of that team, before I opened
I would say so.
But he's
57-point, Eckler, Mattison,
Higgins back, connect, scoring like a team, Even had the goal to leave Michael Wilson in.
Yeah.
For a nil point. But yeah.
31 points for Edwards. Yeah.
Massive score from absolutely nowhere, really. But when you look at the team, it's if Stroud can keep picking up those points and Higgins.
Well, he does so. You know what I mean? He's sort of an amazing year. Even when he's having a bad game, he's still scoring points.
But then the bottom trash pandas didn't bother with their team this week. They left Kittle, McManus, and Warner all starting. So
oh god,
easy win in the end for the Rainy Cardinals. And
it would have been hard to beat them with that score anyway, like the way it goes this week. But
I mean, the Belfast bench warmers, who of course gave Kelsey away, back up to 5 and 4 with a nice win in a 200-point haul. Kamara doing the business. Hopkins, Kamara actually didn't do jack, really, did he? That was a terrible week, and he still got 15 points. But he's got Hopkins doing well and Joko doing well. So, from what he got out of the trade, the players are playing for him,
It's crazy, the Crew Juggernauts are sitting there with 1,917 points.
Yeah, and they've lost 5 games in a row.
They lost 5 because they obviously started really well.
But they've only ran into 1,800, so it's not like they've ran into 2,000 or anything. So these games are all going to be tight that he's been losing,
It's a bit of sickening.
Yeah, it must be sickening after sickening, because I do believe that's going to be a lot of close losses, that, But But yeah, it's been going to go 4 games in a row and up to 7-2 now. Whitworth Educators, as you say, they could have sealed the deal this week, but 7-2 now, so they'll need to seal the deal next week maybe. And then the Durham Trash Pandas, if they get back to their team, you know, they're 5-4 in 4th place. So it's this is again also so tight. You know, everyone up to 3rd place are in the playoff chases at the moment. You know, I mean, even the top 2, if they'd need to lose 5 in a row, I would say. But I've seen it happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. Belfast Sunday.
Belfast Benchwarmers playing the Durham Trash Pandas this week, so that's a huge game, and hopefully Durham will get back to their team. And winner of that game's looking very good to get in. Loser of that game's in a dogfight, you know. Pope Birmingham Giants at 2-7, so you know he's got to be favourite for that against a 2-7 team. Get back to 5-5, that would be massive, you know, right in the race. Darlow Destroyers at 4-5, running into the Whitworth Educators, who did just get a bloody nose.
They still had a good score, but yeah, they did get a bloody nose. But
and Crewe are running into the Rhiney Cardinals, who you know got the score from nowhere, but yeah, the you know big massive game for Crewe on the 5-game losing streak.
Oh, but then
I don't see it turning round.
Geez, I'm trying to look at their team. It's not looking pretty.
No, it's no. He's got Swift on by. He's got Wilson on by.
Who's he got an IR? I can't see it from here, but
he's got Palmer, London, A-Chain, and Richardson. So he's lost some big players this week.
That'll be why, because you started off so well, because all those players, and now they're all in bloody IR.
And that's why he'll have all the quarterbacks in as well, because he's had brown folk in and he's been trying to replace Richardson. But yeah, I mean, he's got McCaffrey back this week to plug in instead of Swift. And for Wilson, he can plug in. I mean, you can go with Spears. Spears is getting touches. That's fine. You know, so yeah, I mean, he's got replacements to come in for his 2 buys. So it's for Crewe. So, you know, I don't imagine he goes with Wilson this week, although, you know, Heineke, Mayfield, Love, it's a awful choice, isn't it, or Levis.
So, this 5-game losing streak, that will probably coincide with Richardson and A-Chain going out, I'm guessing.
Yeah, absolutely it will.
That's a killer.
That's, I feel he's paying me A-Chain in the home league, but hopefully we'll get him back soon.
So, tie of the week?
For me, if Durham do their team, it's the Durham Trash Pandas against the Belfast Benchwarmers, the 2 5-4s.
If they do their team. But yeah, or I actually quite like in the Rhiney Cardinals against the Crewe Juggernauts. I'd like to see Crewe snap their losing streak. Nobody likes a losing streak.
Yeah, no, me too. It's you know, it's after such a good start as you say with the 4 wins, it's flying. It's it must be painful to be going through, you know, it must be painful, that 5-game losing streak. So yeah, I hope they do snap it. But yeah, the 2 5-4s, I just think that's such a big game at this stage of the season. It will give one of them a big massive heads up, and the other one is right smack bang in the middle of the dogfight, you know. And I do like your choice here in the sense of see if Rhiney Cardinals win that game against Crewe Juggernaut. So, you know, at 4-6, they are not out. They are right in the hunt, you know.
They are, because it's so close. It's just,
and there will be the 6th place, the kind of 6th place team kind of will be on 5 wins, I would say, because Durham or Belfast must lose. One of the two must lose. So yeah, the 6th place team will be on 5 wins next week. So if Rhiney do win that game and get to 4-6, they're only 1 game off the playoff spot. So yeah, it's a huge game. I like your choice.
Cheers. So we'll go on to Marwick Head, Division 3.
Hey, well done, Aaron.
2 in a row.
Top score of the week.
After hiding last week because he won, he didn't turn up.
245 points, so massive score for him, beating the Southampton Dockers as well, who were on 6-2 and flying, you know. It's great win for him. Graham back on the horse after a wee loss last week. He's beaten Ads, he snapped Ads' 2-game winning streak. And got himself 7-2.
Johnny getting the second highest score of the week and getting his third win against the Melbourne Supremacy, 6-3.
He did, and what a
So
big
that's
team to be beating as well. You know, another team that were 6-2 and going really well. So it's a huge win for Sean. And
the Witcher getting a bye week going up against the Peterhead bloody Jets.
The Peterhead
98 points.
Yeah, 98 points. That's so couldn't have happened a better week for Whitchurch, that's for sure. Because
not a high score, but to get the win,
Herbert bounce back victory. But yeah, no, that's what one are you in there, Johnny?
The Peterhead bloody Jets, to see why they're so low.
See what happened there with the 98. Right,
Tony Kittle was still in the team.
Yeah,
one of the defenders was Bosa
and
Funga were on.
Do your team, Mark, for goodness sake.
I mean, in fairness, look at that. He had bye, he was out, and he only had one other defender.
Yeah,
so I think five defenders, he only had one playing.
I think it's safe to say that Mark's looking at the toilet bowl now and waiting for them to kick in. But Whitchurch Warriors now right in the hunt, you know, looking very good to make the playoffs. Kilmarnock Kings be fully to
7 in a row, yeah.
Seventh win in a row, you know, after our own 2 start, now 7-2. And I mean, them Bonnie Rig Cowboys, Graham, 1 win in the run, 5 weeks to get it.
It was a close win. Yeah, 214 to 183. It does seem a lot, but it's not a lot in fantasy. So
it was. I mean, Jackson didn't overly show up for him, but Mattison had a much better week. Beckham had a much better week.
Jacobs.
You know, it's and of course they plugged Tyreek Hill in, which is not Tyreek Hill, sorry, Taysom Hill. So so that's you know, he's just scoring points for, you know, all over the shop now. So that's a good, you know, a good tool to have at this point at this stage of the season, I would say.
Definitely, yeah. It's basically picked his own team there.
But yeah, big win for Spawn there as well. And at 3-6, not out of it. Not out of it at all at 3-6, you know, 216 points. Melbourne
two games behind Aaron, so
ran into Melbourne Supremacy on a very good week, obviously, you know, and he left John O'Smith on the bench. But I mean, he started Kincaid, but Downs obviously hurt him badly, and Kicker only getting 3 points. Johnson not doing much. Tough week for Melbourne, whereas Sean, you know, Lamb started to really come good now. Even with Kazaki as a goose egg, Cook's not doing much, but both defenders scoring well. So, yeah, good week for Sean as well when he had so many on bye week too.
I know. Like I say, it's a good win for Graham. Got 7-2, 190 points. But then that's 2 losses in a row for Adam after was it 2 wins before?
Yeah, it was 2 wins in a row. 2 wins in a row, and it's now snapped.
It's all gone now.
That's 2 losses in a row now, yeah. But and Aaron bouncing back now. Here he comes. He's making his run, 5-4, 240. You know, CJ Stroud and started him, which is he could have easily started Love, but he went with Stroud, which was a great choice.
Oh yes,
choice you shouldn't have to be making, but it's a great choice all the same.
And he ran as well in 2 touchdowns.
And Rashad White is now starting to kind of show his worth. That, you know, that's not the first week he's had a big score now. T. Higgins
looked good though. You know that catch he caught when he nearly got the touchdown? He was moving that fast. I thought it was Chase.
Yeah, it was. He's looking fully fit now, isn't he? He's looking fully fit.
That's good.
But McBride's there, Jones. He's got Jones bouncing back now, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's looking up for Aaron. It's 2 wins in a row. Looking marching in the right
direction. Back from the bench as well, so back from his bye week. So that's pretty ominous for the rest of them.
And he's got ads. He's got ads this week, so he does. So he's got the Plymouth 49ers. So yeah, that's you've got to be looking at 6 wins for Aaron after that one. That's a massive game for Southampton Dockers as well at 6-3, playing the Kilmarnock Kings at 7-2. Graham and Mark, it's the brother-in-law v brother-in-law. It's the family battle. Bonnie Rig against Peterhead Bloody Jets. And wouldn't Peterhead Bloody Jets love to give Graham get those Christmas bragging rights in?
Obviously, Graham's not sorted his team because he's still got two.
No, he's plenty of time to do that.
No tight end. No tight end. Okay.
He's got
he's got a lot of players out though. Who's he got on the bench? He's got Goff.
He's got
Moss, Brown, Judy.
Judy.
He still needs a tight end.
Yeah, he's going to need, because he's got Goddard and Frymouth.
Well,
but he's moved Goddard straight from the team right into injured reserve instead of bench. That's why he's missing from the team and no there. But yeah, he'll be adding a tight end this week, I would imagine. The thing is, it's 7-2, and in a division like this, where it's kind of, you know, the 6th place is 5-4, and then 7th is 4-5.
You can't really get away. You can't get too late. You can't get too
good
cocky.
in the playoffs. 3 games good in the playoffs, you know, with 5 weeks to go. So I wouldn't be dumping anyone that I particularly wanted to keep if I was Graham. You know, if you've got a couple of spots that you're just never using, then yeah, go and add the guys in to play them, you know. But I wouldn't be doing anything really drastic and breaking my team up, which has been going really well, you know. I mean, he's got Goff there to put in at quarterback, so that's just fine. He'll put in Judy for Cup, and he'll grab a tight end, and he's already put Goddard onto IR, so he'll have a spot to put a tight end in. So yeah, he'll be all right. And well, he's playing Peterhead Bloody Jets, isn't he? So he should get the win, and hope Markle should do his team this week, given who he's playing.
Might have to get a little nudge on that one, but yeah.
But a massive game for the Nottingham Rebels at 4-5, playing against the Whitchurch Warriors.
Yeah,
that's a huge game for the Nottingham Rebels, because you know it's 4-5 means you need to be winning.
But they are going up against are they the top scoring team or second top scoring team?
Yeah, that is top scoring team, 6-3, one behind the top. But yeah, so it's a massive week for, and they've got, well, Pierce is out, so I guess he might be back this week. But yeah, let's go. He's got Montgomery there and Samuel there sitting on the bench. He's got St. Brown back off bye week. You know, so every chance, you know, but he's coming up, as you say, against top scorers for a reason. He'll be hoping Herbert has the same type of game. The big game, you know, at from 4-6 is, we always say, it's a long way back, but tough game for the Rebels, but one they need to win. Melbourne Supremacy should bounce back this week against St Helens Eagles. You've got to think that's
you should do, yeah,
favourites for that. So yeah, and Aaron really should be beating Plymouth if Aaron's got any aspirations of getting into those playoffs and doing well in them. He needs to be beating the Plymouth 49ers this week.
Well, I'm sure he'll be putting McCaffrey back in the lineup, so he should be okay.
Yeah, of course, he will be.
Yeah, so what's your tie of the week in this one? Is it the bottom one or that one?
Yeah, it's got to be the bottom one. It's got to be the Rebels and the Warriors.
Yeah.
Huge game.
It should be a good game. So we'll go on to the final division, Dwarfy Stain.
Yep, and this is another congratulations to the South London Rebels, who at 8-1 and a 5-game win streak will be participating in the playoffs this year for sure.
Getting to 2,000 points as well for the season. So yeah.
2,000 points for the season, which is so really, really good scoring, and well deserved. 251 points, you know, so done it in style. Beating the Manchester Spinners, okay, only 2-7, but great win, fantastic scoring, and
a good win for Alan. Get 3 wins in a row against the South Carolina Broncos,
and puts them right in the on the hill for getting into the playoffs. You know, one more and one more near there. But it was a massive win against another team that were sitting at 6-2. You know, it's South Carolina Broncos are now needing 2 from 5 as opposed to 3 from 5. As opposed to 1 from 5, huge difference, you know.
And a great win for the Kirkwall Cowboys, 5-4, beating a 6-2 Lancaster Bombers. You're now in a 2-game losing streak, which is not good.
Yeah, and 156 points. That's a slip you don't want to be hitting.
And Ross is on a 4-game win streak, moving up to the 5th spot. So that's a good time to hit some form there for Ross.
100%. I mean, you couldn't pick a better time to hit.
He's not the highest scoring team, but he's getting the wins. So,
and that's all that matters at this stage. At this stage, it's all that matters. Massive win for London Eagles as well to get to 4 and 5 and keep Dobbo's Darlow Diamonds at 4 and 5. You know,
200 points as well.
But it keeps London Eagles firmly in the hunt, you know, and it's 2 wins in a row as well now, so in a wee bit of form, so they're going in the right direction, and it just brings that puts Dobbo's Darlow Diamonds right in the proper dogfight, you know, from 4 and 5.
Especially the week before 49ers win as well, so that's some, is that 4 teams on 4 and 5? 3 teams on 4 and 5. So.
3 teams on 4 and 5, and 1 and 5 and 4, and 2 and 6 and 3, you know, so it's you know, the 6 and 3s are looking over their shoulders. They're really looking for a win this week.
But you've got to think between the 6th spot and even Grote down in 10th spot.
I mean, Grote's not out of it. It's
one
a shame
game from the playoffs.
It's a shame he lost this week, Grote, because if he'd have won this week, he was right in the hunt. But he got a wee, he got
a spanking. He didn't lose. He got a spanking.
But he got a sore one. And it was by Michael too. So, but it's and that was from nowhere too. It's Michael scores from absolutely nowhere. You know, from
well, they had he got Allen, Nixon.
He was sitting at 1 and 7. Robertson, you know, sitting at 1 and 7 and doing absolutely nothing. And then boom, there you go. Thank Dale, there you go. There's a big reason.
There's a lot of it. So yeah,
and of course,
it's a cracking win. But
Grote had the Johnny Herbert effect again, you know, whereby he done nothing. George Pickens done nothing. Mingo done nothing. His defence didn't do a whole lot. And his defence is Sauce Gardner and Myles Garrett. So, you know, they will have weeks. They just didn't this week. And of course, he left Stroud on the bench. Wah. That's why you don't hold to them.
And Warren and Algier.
So, I mean, he's playing the Lancashire Bombers this week, Grote, the Gorgatai Vikings. And it's an absolute must win now. So it really has to. And with all of those quarterback options, he's going to need to pick these two. Has he got the bollocks to put in Stroud over Herbert?
Who's Stroud playing this week?
He's playing. They are playing the Cincinnati Bengals, whereas Herbert's coming up against the Lions. I'd be starting Stroud.
Well, yeah, because they're going to be playing catch up, you'd imagine. So yeah,
it's going to be. You would think so. So they're going to go to the air, and he's
depends on the weather. If the weather's rubbish, you're going to play Herbert in Detroit.
So. Well, yeah, because it's in a dome. That's fair. That's a fair comment.
But he's got Najee Harris running through the Green Bay Packers, so
that's not going to be difficult. And Robinson running through the Cardinals, so yeah, he's doing. His backs have got very good games.
Have you seen the crazy stat though? Since Deontay Johnson's been back on the field, Pickens had something like 7 catches for like 27 yards or something like that.
They don't coexist. Is the problem that Pickens has got? They don't coexist. But the Lancashire Bombers have got McCaffrey back, and you know they've got Stevenson again in a good matchup. So they're running into a tough game. He'll need to get a kicker in there because a kicker could make a difference. But he does have an empty bench spot, which I'm sure will end up being kicker.
Yes.
So yeah, big game for Grote there. South London Rebels are already there, so it's a huge game for Dobbo's Darlow Diamonds at 4 and 5.
We've got another show me the money derby. In fact, a Kirkwall derby, an Orkney derby and the OrkneyBowl. The Kirkwall Cowboys against the Kirkwall Raiders.
It is, and
it's a good game, like that one.
Much bigger game for the Cowboys than it is the Raiders, that's for sure. Because at 5 and 4, well, the Cowboys need that win, whereas at 7 and 2, Allen will, you know, he doesn't want to lose, but.
Well, it's got a 3-game win streak against a 4-game win streak, so somebody's win streak is going to go out the window.
The streak has got to go, and I mean, 4-game win streak from 5 and 4 is huge. That's how to get yourself into it from dead.
So you've got to think of the London Eagles. If they win, and the South London Rebels beat the Dobbo Darlings, which you think they should, the London Eagles could jump up to 6th spot.
And it's absolutely, and it's so, you know, if you win when those around you lose at this stage of the season, you're jumping exponentially. You know, if the Kirkwall Cowboys win this week, you could easily see The Wakefield 49, they're playing against Bluetooth
Oh,
Texans.
that's it.
The Texans went well this week, The
If
4
you
and
get
5
the
will lose. And then
depending,
Cowboys you can pretty much stamp your passport, you're almost in.
well, going by the way it could go, depending on how many points the Kirkwall Cowboys score, and if the Raiders win, the Kirkwall will double Darlington if they lose, and the Cowboys lose, or the Eagles and the Wakefield both win. Depending on how many points they score, because there's not much between them and the London Eagles. Both the Kirkwall Cowboys and the Darla Diamonds could be down at 7 and 8.
Yeah, and out the players, so it could be a double jump for playoff spots.
And the Wakefield are playing the Texans, so you got to imagine
And
Michael's not going to do that again.
The Fullwood Patriots are at 3 and 6. As we said it for Grote, I'll say it for them as well. They are not out of it this week. They have major issues this week in that they've got Tua, they've got Swift, and they've got AJ Brown, and they've got Elliott as their kicker. So they do have some major issues this week. But if they can solve them and get a win against the London Eagles, who have Hurts missing in bye week, they're not dead. It's the 3 and 6s need to win now, but they're not out of it, not by a long shot.
Oh boy!
Especially in this division.
They'll have Etienne in place of Akers, but are they really going to go with Zach Wilson? Well, they are playing Las Vegas, but still, that could make or break.
Well, it's
break.
Who they got? It's a better position than the Fullwood Patriots are in at quarterback right now, unless Fields is back.
I think they're hoping Fields is going to be back this week, but it's hard to. It's a Friday game, so maybe not. It might be too.
Yeah, it's a Friday game. Yeah, so it's but it's a very tight division, and the matchups this week are. Some of the matchups this week are huge, and there could be major moves being made to the point where, there could be big gaps opening up between kind of 4th and 5th type thing, and then it's a dogfight for the last couple of spots,
or it could be like there'll be
possible, So
if the two teams in 6th place win, that'll help them a lot because it'll give them a couple of games. It means other teams have lost, but I think it's going to be interesting.
My heart wants to take the Gorgie Vikings against the Lanarkshire Bombers for game of the week, just because I'd love to see Grote get that win and keep himself in that hunt. Lanarkshire Bombers are on a 2-game losing streak, but you have to say it's a Kirkwall derby.
It's the Orkney Derby and the OrkneyBowl. That's the
Orkney Derby, the Orkney Derby and the OrkneyBowl game of the week.
Yes, so that's us for the week. That was a nice round-up. I know, week 9 is pretty crazy.
Week 9, 5 weeks to go of the regular season. 5.
I know, it is mental. But you might get your second win this week. You never know.
Well, I'm scoring okay now week on week. I'm scoring around the 160, 170 mark most weeks now, and that's enough to win the odd one. So I dare say a win will come along, but it's obviously all about playoffs now. I'm just waiting on this. So I've got 4 weeks of watching everybody else, and then I'll get, then I'm in again.
Get your team ready for the playoffs.
That's it. Just make sure you're keeping that. You do your team for me being down there, right, and it's gone. But the playoffs have got so much to play for. So at this moment in time, I'm still doing my team every single week properly. And the reason being is because I want to make sure I'm keeping an eye on who's playing well and who's not, and who I've got there, and what my options are on the bench still, and keeping that in my head when I'm watching the game, so as I know what they're doing heading into playoffs.
Well, that's the thing, because obviously even next year when you're playing for promotion and relegation, the playoffs are still a big part, because I think it's not. Is it down as a toilet bowl, or is it down as? I think it's down as not toilet bowl. I know we call it toilet bowl, but I don't think it is toilet bowl.
Well, it's the consolation
bracket.
Yeah,
because that way, obviously, when it comes to the playoffs next year, the winner of the consolation and the runner-up will be safe in that division.
Or is it not go by league division? Is it not by league division? It goes by playoffs or promotion relegation too.
Yeah, you're playing. Cool. You're getting in there and you're playing for your. Then it's a dogfight.
For your life.
You're playing for the division and you're playing for the title, or you're playing to stay in that division.
You're literally
So
playing.
You're
playoff.
playing just every game's a playoff in the playoffs.
Yeah, because you're playing. Yeah, so massive, but. At this moment in time, I'm just waiting for them to start now. It's but I want to keep an eye on my team because I want to make sure that I know who's playing well and who's not.
Well, I've got a hard game this week, but hopefully I'll get the win. So we'll see what happens.
And there is no dumping because it's not a dynasty, so there's no point in going chasing draft picks for next year because they ain't going to get them. So there's no point.
No, I know in the Brit Towers you can trade draft picks and all that, but it's too complicated. And it's just
no. Leave it be. Yeah. You couldn't do it in this league anyway, Johnny, because you're playing a different league next year.
So they do that, and the person they it's far too complicated.
No.
No, like the Brit League's the same. The Brit Towers is the same. The team inherits the team from before. Oh yeah, I don't like it. I don't. If it's a redraft, I don't like doing draft picks. So
can I ask a question before we finish? See if you were 2-7 and not 7-2, would you proudly be displaying it on your name there?
Well, yeah, because Pez what it does to put it on the thing. So I would.
I'm going to hold you to that when next time you're 2-7. I shall put mine on.
It's not going to be this year. No, I think Kelly wanted it on the Working Pez, so I just put it on it all the time now. So.
Yeah, I always do it when I'm doing when I used to type up the reports. I would put the team score in brackets next to their name always.
I meant to do it in the team of the week, but I didn't. But I do it in the other ones. But yes. But thank you for coming on, Craig, and hopefully you got less mental week next week.
Let's hope so.
But I'm quite happy doing it this time, to be honest, because get help with bedtime.
Yeah, that's this time's good. I had no badminton this week, so I could do it early. But yes, good luck everyone this weekend.
Apart from Doug.
Thank you.
And yes, good luck everybody. Apart from who.